Dearest friends, it's nearly Friday, the sun is shining, and myself and Adam Nicholas are here to grease you up, bend you over, and give you a hot good afternoons injection directly into every available orifice. This is WhatCulture Wrestling. This is your second bulletin of the day, and coming up for you we have...
I'm still trying to get over the orifice thing, to be honest, but apparently WrestleMania 36 still has not sold out.
Some actual journalists and some actual journalism, and I have some incredibly interesting journalistic findings to tell you about.
Journalism. WWE are also in major talks with ESPN Plus.
But first, a big name, well, it's actually a very short name, but a big name could be missing from the WrestleMania card. This is according to Dave Meltzer on the Wrestling Observer Radio, who has decreed that as it stands right now in WWE, no plans. No plans at all for a Mr. Hunter Hearst Helmsley to be appearing on that show.
Unbelievable.
No, that doesn't really sound like a big deal. The guy's semi-retired, he does more stuff behind the scenes with NXT. But this would still be the first WrestleMania Triple H has missed since. Any guesses?
Ooh, I think I know the answer to this, so it's pointless me guessing.
God, well, why have you done that? You could have just gone, top of my head.
Because I'm not that guy. I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to take all the rewards for things I don't know.
Pretend you guess.
Want to pass me again, go on.
That'll be the first WrestleMania Triple H has missed since. Any guesses?
Oh, I'm not sure. I'm
going to lose me nut to get this wrong, by the way.
I know. 2007?
It is 2007,
wow.
Yes. This will be Triple H's first WrestleMania where he's not on the card since then. The guy has gone to extreme lengths to kind of make himself synonymous with that show. Like, the more he retires, the more inevitable it becomes that he's going to be on that show. Batista last year. Was it Rollins the year before?
Oh,
Reigns the year before, then Rollins before that, and he's on the show every single year. He finds a way to get on, but apparently, as it stands, no plans.
No plans. And I mean, what could you expect? It's the game you'd think you'd see him on there, because let's be honest, he's the big draw, isn't he?
He's a big draw,
He's a big draw, but apparently
he's a big nose.
Jesus. Apparently no plans though.
No plans.
I tell you, who would you, if you were to put him on now, who would you put him in against? Because really, that card's probably going to pick itself at
I
this
would have
point.
said, before the Royal Rumble, if you were going to do a Triple H match, I would have thought Orton. Maybe the one, if it was going to be his last one, because Orton's still got quite a couple of years left in him, it would help put him over to an extent. But obviously, I think they've got some concrete plans for Randy Orton now. Forget what they are. Now, what's really interesting about this is, obviously, you're going to get onto a other story of WrestleMania in a little minute, but part of the problem with what you're about to mention is that there are a number of big names who are now going to be missing from that card. As it stands, there's no real plans for The Undertaker. We don't really know what John Cena's going to be doing. Ronda Rousey's going to be missing the show. Goldberg is apparently not going to have a match. Or the litany of legends and big names they could have called upon, a lot of them just don't figure in their current plans.
Almost like they've got a really full roster of quality wrestlers who they can actually lean on and make good matches happen. But apparently not draw.
No, apparently not draw, no.
Which is still probably paramount in Vince's mind. Well, moving on to the story about them not drawing,
what a segue.
shall we say.
What a segue.
I don't know why we even need to do this story, because you already know the answer. As Adam Cleavy's told you, Triple H isn't on the card, and therefore WrestleMania 36 has not
It's cancelled.
sold
It's off.
out
If you
yet.
bought your tickets for Tampa,
Forget about
sell them.
Forget about it. But yes, WrestleMania 36 still hasn't sold out. Now, it's not very far away. We should point out this is quite notable. Now, a lot of you thinking, yeah, so what? It's just an event. Well, so what? Because this is a big deal, because last year, WrestleMania 35, tickets sold out in minutes. Like, gone. Poof, poof, poof.
I've forgotten how to click.
There you go. I've got you.
I've forgotten how to click? There we go.
There it is. It all just comes clicking back. But the problem here is that obviously it's not just WrestleMania that's down. Now, we all know WrestleMania weekend is a big thing, it's a big event. WWE put lots of events on across that, from say like Thursday through to the following, used to be Tuesday, now it's Monday. And apparently all ticket sales for almost everything at WrestleMania weekend are down. That's including live events, that's including all the like access stuff.
Oh dear.
Everything behind the scenes is still not doing pretty well. That is worrying. Also, as per Dave Meltzer of the Wrestling Observer, he suggests that this would indicate that the number of people travelling to Tampa will be way down compared to past years.
This is, I mean, there's no such thing as bad news financially from WWE's perspective, because they have more money than God. But as we know from going to WrestleMania, the fringe events around WrestleMania sort of becomes basically a 2-week-long festival celebration of wrestling. And indeed, a lot of promotions and a lot of performers base a large chunk of their year financially on the money they can make around WrestleMania events. Now, if this is an indication that far few people are traveling, there's going to be less interest in the shows, maybe there's just not going to be the crowds they were expecting. Bad news for wrestling, if not necessarily bad news for WWE.
Well, Meltzer also noted that not just WWE has been affected. The
Everybody.
indie events
dear.
around everything that happens with WrestleMania are also down, which kind of makes sense when it comes to the wider scale of things, but that is weird / concerning.
Yeah, just to give a bit of a scale of this, we had a quick check, Andy Murray had a quick check before we came in on what the second-hand market currently is for tickets at WrestleMania. It's something like $40 or something like that.
$39 I think it is for the tickets, and you're looking at primary market, there's still like thousands of tickets there, not just hundreds, like thousands.
We went to WrestleMania last year and we got tickets on the second-hand market, and without wanting to look ungrateful, they were not what you would call luxury, like particularly good tickets, and they still cost hundreds of dollars. Such was the demand in the event. If we'd wanted to sit like in a lower part or somewhere near the ringside, that would have cost, I know you said me, WhatCulture Limited, thousands of dollars. So the fact that you can still get in for something like $40 is startling.
Secondary market as well, though, because they can't get those first ones shifted, so there's no value in it anymore, which is worrying, to say the least.
Now, speaking of things not drawing, some things that are drawing, according to Brandon Thurston, who has done some actual journalism.
But before you do this, Brandon Thurston, by the way, what a guy. He provides genuinely provides us with so much information. I love a good stat. And whenever we get a good one, usually it comes from him.
I love stats,
Fantastic.
mate. Remember when I did that big graph of like how quickly the main roster had ruined all the NXT call-ups, and it was a perfect sliding graph. Oh, highlight of my afternoon, that was right. Brandon Thurston did some great research looking at all the different segments across the Wednesday Night War, what they usually expect to do in terms of numbers and audience share, and looking at how these either increase or reduce depending who is on screen. It's a big sample size. Obviously, the Wednesday Night War's been going on for months and months and months now. We're at the stage where you can start to draw correlating scientific data from what happens, and he has used this to determine who the biggest draws across the Wednesday Night Wars are. Now, of course, this is not an exact science. Obviously, the biggest names are the biggest draws, but any segment they're in, you expect them to do big anyway. So they're sort of like, you're going to notice there's no real big names in all of this. That's because they kind of draw the level you expect them to draw. So what this is the names who are drawing in excess of what their drawing power is supposed to be. Basically, the people,
Are you still following?
Yep. Basically, he's worked out all the you won't believe who really draws on the Wednesday Night Wars is. Right. Here's a little list for you because it surprised me. Number one, who outdraws what she's meant to do, Bianca Belair.
Of course.
The Inner Circle, Mia Yim, Rhea Ripley, MJF, Cody, Jungle Boy, Io Shirai, Matt Riddle, and Dakota Kai. Now, I will say the first thing that jumped out at me about that was, wow, people love the NXT women's division, possibly because it's one of the best divisions in all of professional wrestling. But Jungle Boy, I'm delighted to see in there. Obviously, the much maligned, that's not what a wrestler looks like from those bedwetters on the internet. Great to see that he's drawing people in. Obviously, Cody, we know he's great. MGF, we know he's great. Fair play, Mia Yim, because that's
quite a surprising one for me personally.
I will say, Mia Yim's been in a lot of high-profile matches with loads of good people. Like, obviously, she had the ladder match before
during this period. I'll give you that.
But regardless, she is still one of the reasons that those sections are drawing. People aren't changing the channel because Mia Yim's on, and that is testament to how good she is. I'll hold my hands up with that one.
I think it's nice to see that from this, aside from quite a lot, that's very good, that there's quite a good representation across the board there.
Yeah.
And I think that's probably got to play into it.
Men, women, AEW, NXT, tag team, like it's really good. It's really good. And this is useful information because it does kind of show or suggest at least who might be in line to get a bit of a rocket attached to them. Matt Riddle being on here, I absolutely love. And Dakota Kai being on here, despite everyone being like, oh, I don't know about her getting the takeover match, she's not really that good, is she? People like watching Dakota Kai, according to this. Absolutely love it.
Probably because she's really good.
Obviously, the big names missing, your likes of Chris Jericho's, your Adam Cole's, they are the top guys in these companies. They are drawing well, just obviously not like beyond what expectations were. I think I've done a really bad job at explaining all this, but hopefully you followed anyway.
Basically, wrestling's great. Is the overall
Wednesday nights are fantastic.
Wednesday nights are great.
And we've got proof.
Are even better for us. Oh, go on. Go on. Oh.
You ever see a guy say goodbye to a shoe before?
You know what it is, when you did that last time, I really felt like the pages were going to fly out and then they all stayed together and fell at the back. Yeah. Anyway, speaking of things that have fallen out the back, WWE and ESPN. There you go. Tied it together.
That's great. That's
Perfect. Yes, as we may recall, WWE, on their most recent financial call, they just basically announced that they were going to be trying to get shot of their pay-per-views. They're going to be trying to sell them, find buyers for each individual pay-per-views, or indeed a package of the pay-per-views, and have them go out elsewhere to make themselves more money. Makes sense, kind of similar model to what the UFC do with theirs. And you know what Vince McMahon's like. If he can get his hands on some money, then it's probably a good idea.
They're making how much?
They're making what? But ironically, of course, they make so much money from outside sources, shall we say, that it's really affected what their value is in their numbers.
Yes, you used to imagine when someone sat down with Vince and was like, oh, well, UFC actually make all this money from selling their pay-per-views. And you went, well, surely they make more from the UFC network, which is $9.99. So went, oh, no, Vince, they actually sell it all.
What? Wait a minute, we're giving stuff away for free? Well, apparently not for long, because they've been in talks with ESPN Plus, who, ironically, are the ones who also have a working relationship with UFC, where they put the pay-per-view events on there. And we're being told by the Wrestling Observer that apparently there have been talks between ESPN and WWE. These talks would be regarding WWE content on ESPN Plus, the suggestion being specifically the rights to pay-per-view services. Now, obviously, WWE's relationship with ESPN is pretty healthy at the moment.
Yeah,
We've seen
good,
a lot of pretty good.
Pretty good.
We've seen a lot of, I was wanting to call them reporters, but they're not. They're presenters. They're just like us. Presenters going back and forth because the relationship's so good. Charlie Crusoe obviously came from ESPN. Coach, we guess we got him back. Yay! Lots of good relationship there between them. Maybe that's the company they'd like to sell a lot of these to. Adam Cleary.
Sorry, I'm still just reeling from you reaching for the word reporters and then going, oh wait, no, I meant presenters, just like us.
Just like us.
Got a first in journalism, mate. Yeah. Anyway, that's a long time ago. That's good news, though.
I got
think.
a first as well.
Did you?
Yeah. Creative right. What are we doing?
Right, yeah, that's good news, I guess, from an ESPN perspective. Obviously, if they take pay-per-views away from the WWE network, you would imagine the pricing structure will have to change, although that has itself been rumoured for ages and ages, a tiered system. I wonder what the interest in the WWE network would be purely from a back catalogue perspective. I don't know. I think getting the pay-per-views on them is the main reason we all get it, isn't it?
Well, the funny thing is as well, because I'm sure out of ESPN Plus's service, it would be figuring out how the pay-per-views would factor in. Do they come in as part of the cost that people already pay for the ESPN Plus service, or would there be an additional fee for them? It's all a bit up in the air, but the one big one I guess you've got to ask yourself is, does that include WrestleMania? Would that be part of that package? Because there was talk that that could be one that went out standalone. Even if you got a bunch of pay-per-views went elsewhere, WrestleMania is such a big package. Although saying that, the ticket sales are down, so probably not a great time to be trying to tout it, but it's such a great package that someone might want to get their hands on that independently.
We say it every year, you can just watch WrestleMania for free, or just sign up for the network, get your free trial, and watch their biggest show of the year without giving the company a single penny of your money.
Play your cards right, I think, depending on how they do it still. I'm sure there's a way to get, like, you could get the Rumble.
Yeah.
And then
let it expire.
And get yourself back.
Or just get a second email address.
Yep, just do that.
It's bizarre. The structure at the minute is probably, with the TV deals coming in, not unsustainable, but it's probably, it's a word I'm looking for, underdeveloped. WWE could be making a lot more money from their pay-per-views, and I think in recent years with the network, they've just gone for the simplest option. Let's put them all on there and we'll make loads of money doing it, but if they can maximise the return on that, they would be... I mean, it's bad for fans, but they would be daft not to, is
and they've
my
got
take.
A bunch of subscribers now on there, which is probably the end game initially. They've got that now. Maybe they can move all the content. Who knows? I'm sure all of that will become clear very soon.
Yeah, but let us know what you made of all of it. We're not got your Twitter, Pat, have we? No, thank God, in the comments below.
No, it's Friday, mate. It's Friday.
I think I should explain why we're so high on life and enjoying this at the minute. We just had a KFC, and I am off my nut on imitation cheese.
Speak for yourself. Some of us have got a healthy lifestyle to live over here.
What did you have?
I had a chicken sandwich.
So did I, in a way. Let us know what you made of it all, and indeed your KFC order in the comments below. And of course, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Catch us on Twitter. Where can they do that?
At It's Adam Nicholas or at KFC. What about you?
Adam Cleary, CLEFC, and you can get the entire WhatCulture Wrestling family available to you at WhatCulture Kentucky Fried Chicken. In the meantime, though, thank you so much for watching. This was your hashtag Good After News, and we'll see you soon. Have a nice weekend.
Goodbye.